Yeah, even if it was, God, that was 19 years ago that I was diagnosed. Well, it's 20 years ago that I had my first flare up, and I actually remember it vividly.
Really?
Yeah. Um, I was playing, and I went. This is why I was on Congregate. I went back to check. I was playing very specifically a flash game called Defend Your Honor on Congregate, and
Okay.
just like gradually over the course of, I want to say, about 3 minutes, I went from perfectly fine child to so nauseous I couldn't stand up,
Oh god.
and like horrible, like horrific migraine. Felt like vomiting but couldn't make it happen. Uh, got dizzy. Um, just all this shit like all at once. And the best thing we could come up with at the time was I showed my mom the game I was playing when it happened, and every time there would be an impact, like the screen would shake a bit. So we were like, could it have been motion sickness? And that was like our working theory for for a little while. Because what were we?
Yeah, you're.
We were just average people in what, 2000 whatever, 2005, I guess, at the time. Like, of course, we didn't know a damn thing about ulcerative colitis. Most people didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't even suspect it. We eventually, like, I kept having these flare-ups, and we went in to get an MRI, and they found it came back with absolutely nothing.
Mm.
We're like, he gets headaches all the time. He's constantly feeling dizzy. He's getting nauseous. It's got to be something wrong with his head. No, I was in perfect condition. And that made things even worse, because if that wasn't the problem, what could it have possibly been?
Yeah.
And there was a point where, because it was early on, uh it was 20 years ago, there was a thought that I was genuinely afraid it was because I was spending too much time playing video games.
Mm.
Like, I'm staring at screens too much, like it's hurting, it's affecting my head, like.
Yeah.
Nah, shit didn't have anything to do with it.
Nope.
My immune system was attacking my lower intestine ravenously.
That's wild that it like affected your head so much.
Yeah. Well, so what it does, what was happening is it affects your digestive tract, which affects your stomach, which affects your head.
I see.
So it's this whole like chain link of red herrings that we had to process our way through
Okay.
until finally the children's hospital was able to diagnose me, and I got my first colonoscopy, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's ulcerative colitis." Oh, and by the time my parents had their very first colonoscopies, I had 9 or 10 to give them pointers. So like,
Yeah, you're gonna help the rest of us out in 30 years, 20 years.
you bet. I gave Josh's dad advice too. Like, his dad came over while we were living in our apartment together, and he basically crashed on our couch while he took the prep. And I was like, okay, so here's what you want to do. Here's the pro strats. So I'll give you the rundown. Genuinely, that colonoscopy prep is my living hell.
I bet.
It's I don't like shitting. I genuinely, I hate using the restroom. Is just a pain in the ass. And that's not even a joke. But like, being in a restroom kind of irritates me because of it. And then I have a physical aversion to drinking things too quickly. And guess what you gotta do?
Yup.
2 gallons, Yeah, 2 whole gallons of high-grade laxatives right down your gullet over the course of 12 hours. Um,
Oh God.
no, over the course of 6 hours. You gotta down all that shit. I've never once succeeded. I've not gone through the whole 2 gallons. I have to physically stop at some point. Because it's like you put the solution in the water
Yeah.
and it tastes like water. It doesn't like change the taste much, if at all. But it's just like
It's a lot.
slightly thicker water.
Oh.
It's
that's
like
the worst.
it's like the consistency of saliva.
Ugh, don't even.
Yeah. And I gotta drink 2 gallons of that shit. They say like, oh, it helps to refrigerate it. Yeah, I guess it does. Ew.
Not nearly to that extreme, but still didn't seem like a fun time. Erica recently, um, so whenever you're pregnant, you have to take a glucose test to see if you have gestational diabetes.
Ah, yeah.
She failed her first glucose test and had to take the second one, which is like 3 times more liquid, and you have to wait like I think it was 3 hours, and get like blood work every hour
Oh.
during
That's a different brand of hell.
that. Yeah, it was a rough time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before she got pregnant, she was scared of needles, and just because of the hell that this pregnancy has been, she's just that one upside is she is over that.
I've genuinely, as an adult, I've had people tell me like, I don't like a few months ago, one of the techs that was like in the lab helping me with my infusion, told me to my face like, "Wow, you're taking this really well." And I'm like, well, you know, when there's a 2-month period of your life when you're 6 years old where you're getting blood work done every single weekday, you get used to it.
I mean, anybody with an autoimmune disease has gotten over it.
Yeah, yeah. Like you get over it. I get it that I'm still like a little on the younger side. So like maybe it does surprise you that I've had this for 20 years and not got it this year. But like I don't know.
Yeah. Like I remember whenever
I appreciate the compliment.
when I was taking the Prograph, they were like, "All right, we don't know how much of this your body can take, and we won't know for ever."
Pretty much, yeah.
And they were like, basically, I had to get it at the beginning. I had to get it tested every day. For it was about 8 days. I had to get my blood tested for so we had the right amount of this medicine in my bloodstream, and then
Right.
after that it went down to like every other day, and then the lowest it ever got to was once a week, and I was on that shit for 6 months.
Right.
So to say like you kind of have to get over it, it's not an exaggeration. Like you're not
You
gonna,
can't afford to be afraid of it at that point.
yeah.
Even when I was like a really young child, like I wasn't the type when I was getting my blood work done
No,
or getting
please
shots. Oh no!